Good afternoon once again, all my comic collecting friends out there in YouTube land. This is Comic Hoarder 410. Here today to do a video of my haul from a local comic shop sale. And, I probably shouldn't have gone. I've been spending a lot of money lately. I've been to 3 conventions over the past 2.5, 3 months. But it's a really nice shop, and it was everything in the store was 50 to 70% off, so I couldn't pass it up. And this is the stuff I got. And at the store for this sale was Adventure Time with Jake and Finn, writer and artist John Gallagher. And he was signing and sketching. He was super nice. And I got this Adventure Time 20 blank cover, and I asked him to do a sketch of Jake for me. And I bought his other 2 books, and he was telling me about Buzzboy while he's doing the sketch. So he drew Jake reading Buzzboy and signed it to Matt John Gallagher. Very cool guy. And he gave me 3 of these prints because I bought some other stuff. Because I wanted one for each of my nephews because they're big fans of this show. And these are, I guess, for Thanksgiving. It's Adventure Time Sandwich Thanks. Print limited to 150, and it was for Cards, Comics, and Collectibles, the store that put on the sale and the signing. And it's after a Norman Rockwell piece, but he signed me this one to Matt John Gallagher, and he did one for each of my nephews. And he thought it was really cool. My one nephew, his name's Finn, when he was signing, he's like, no way. And I was like, yeah, what's weird is Finn went dressed as Jake for Halloween, so he thought that was pretty cool. But just a super nice guy. And I'll show you here, I got to read these later. But these are his other books, and he gave me a break. They're both hardcovers. He gave me a nice break on the price. And this is Roboy Red, Nuts and Bolts. And I asked him if he could sign these for me. And without even asking, he did. He signed them and did a sketch in here of Roboy Red for me right on the spot. Very cool guy. And this is the one I'm actually more excited to read. This is Buzzboy, Sidekick's Rule. And he said this is... more of a complete story encapsulated in this volume. It says, find out what happens when the sidekicks take over. So, going to read this. I'll let you all know how it is. But, again, being very cool, he signed it and did a sketch of Buzzboy in there for me. Very awesome, awesome guy. Hardcovers and softcovers were 50% off. So, keep it clean for the kiddies. As clean as I can. Got this Super Effers softcover. I had one of the single issues, which are pretty decent size. They're a little bigger than normal comics as far as the page count. And it's by indie sensation James Kolchalka. And I always say his name wrong, but I think that's right. But he went to the Art Institute of Maryland here down in Baltimore, like 25 minutes away from me. I've never met him, but big fan of his work. And I want to tell you all, this book has a lot, and I mean a lot of cursing. Like sometimes 4 F-bombs in like one panel on one, not even one page, one panel. But very irreverent, a lot of cursing. There's even nudity, sex references, drug references. If you're not easily offended, this is a good read. It's very funny, and I haven't laughed out loud, by myself reading a comic in a while, but this one cracked me up. So if you're not easily offended, I recommend it. And also, they're doing animated shorts of it now. You can watch some of them on YouTube. I haven't seen how they are, but somebody told me about them. I'm going to go watch some tonight. But if you don't mind irreverent, offensive humor, this is a good, funny book. Cracked me up. It's kind of like the superheroes meet the real world, meet Kenny Powers, or, like a frat house setting for superheroes. Very, very good read, I thought. Definitely not for kids, obviously, by the title. This is a story I love. I have a nice copy of the first issue, but I needed to get the trade so I could read them again. And this was half off. And this is actually, I think, from late 90s, whenever they first reprinted this in a volume. This is the first printing. So, but I just more got to read. There's a little damage up there, if you can see. It got bent, but happy to get that. So many things I can't wait to read that I picked up today. This is one I remember having as a kid. And I got all these, I'm a big fan of the early 80s Marvel graphic novels. And I got all these 70% off. Couldn't pass them. And I had this as a kid, and I don't know what happened to mine, but I remember it vividly. It was by Epic, and it was Iron Man Crash, the first computer-generated graphic novel. And this is from the 80s. I don't remember exactly what year, but it's by Mike Sains. I guess that's how you say it. But it was $12.95 cover price, and since I got it for 70% off $14, I did pretty good. And this is a really sharp copy. It has some rubbing on the bottom corner. But other than that, it's really sharp. It was a big deal back then. I remember DC followed immediately with Batman Digital Justice, which I don't have anymore and I need to pick up. But glad to get those, and I was glad to get these. I've been looking for the official comics adaptation of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and ended up getting it for $3. And this is a sharp copy. I mean, the spine is perfect here. This is gorgeous. And they had a beat up copy here. Not too beat up, but definitely more beat up. And it was $4, so I guess that works out like $1.20 plus tax or something. So I was like, heck, I'll get it for a reader. Also got the Roger Rabbit, The Resurrection of Doom Marvel graphic novel. Very happy to get that. And, you know, these deals, I was just grabbing stuff, man. You know. Was looking for this one, Marvel graphic novel number 6, Star Slammers by Walt Simonson. And I think, memory serves me right, I might have a copy of this already, but couldn't pass it up, man. Could not pass it up. It's like, you know, less than $3. This one was $25, but as you can see, signed. And it was, with it being on sale, I got it. I already have a copy of Futurians, but it's pretty beat up. But I got this one. It is, I'll show you right here. Unfortunately, it is a second printing, but it's signed Futurians Forever Dave Cockrum's, and that's my first Dave Cockrum autograph, so I'm happy about that. And if anybody knows for sure who this is, I'm going to have to look it up. It says Yowza. Looks like maybe J-A-G, but it could be, you know, it could be Jim Novak, or it could be Al Milgrom. It doesn't look like Jim Shooter, but you never know. But it's obviously one of those three, so I'm hoping it's either, no offense to Novak, but I'm hoping it's not the letterer. I'm hoping it's Milgram or Shooter, but I'm going to have to look that up. But definitely, that's Dave Cockrum, and pretty decent copy, but it's signed, so snatch that up, you know. It's less than $10, couldn't argue. This one wasn't familiar with, but with the price, it was a Marvel graphic novel. It's Marvel graphic novel number 10. And that stain is on the Mylar up there. But this is Heartburst by Rick Veitch, who went on to do a lot of Star Wars stuff. And it's a pretty awesome cover. Don't really know what it's about, but picked it up. This I've heard a lot about. Never got the opportunity to read it, so I'm very stoked to get this and get ready to read it. And again, less than $3. These are, some of these are half, you know, it's $4.95 cover price in the early 80s. So I got it for less than cover price. I mean, really stoked with the stuff I found. But I've heard a lot about this and I've been wanting to read it. It's Marvel graphic novel 11, Void Indigo. And it's written by the late, great Steve Gerber, Howard the Duck creator, with gorgeous art by Val Merrick. I mean, look at that cover, but I like the image. Oops. I like the image on the back cover here even better. Sweet, sweet painted cover. I can't wait to read this. This is another one I hadn't really heard of, but it's another Marvel graphic novel from the 80s, Rick Mass, The Agent, by James Hundle and John Ridgway. Pretty nice copy, except for the bottom corner is roughed up. So, this one I've been looking for, and I'm super excited to read it, and I can't believe I got it this cheap. It isn't super valuable, but it's kind of, you know, one of those books that a lot of people don't part with their copies, and it's The Last of the Dragons by Carl Potts and Denny O'Neil. And man, look at that frickin' Carl Potts cover. And you guys know I'm into martial arts movies and comics and samurai stuff, and man, I cannot wait. I've been wanting this for a while, and it's a sharp copy, and I can't wait to read it. Very happy with that one. This one, It was very cheap, so I picked it up. Another Marvel graphic novel from the 80s. And this is Axe. This might be early 90s, but this is Axe by Ernie Cologne. Ernie Cologne. This I had forgotten about, but I was so happy when I saw it. It took me back. I remember now getting this for Christmas as a young boy. And it's the DC Superman Spectacular. And it's got Terra Man and Lex Luthor and Superman Red and Superman Blue in it. And I got it for $3 frickin'. And again, I can't wait to read this because I know I had it as a kid and read it many a time. This is DC graphic novel number 2. A pretty sharp copy again. It looks like these were kept on a bookshelf out of bag because, you know, a lot of them just had that rubbing on the bottom. But DC graphic novel number 2, and it's a sword and sorcery one that haven't read. It's Warlords by Steve Skeets and David Wenzel. So, got a lot of awesome graphic novel pickups and a lot of reading ahead, which is cool. The Silver Age and Golden Age stuff was 50% off, so still got a decent deal, but got a pretty nice copy. It's got some stress marks and dings on the spine there, but not too bad of a copy elsewhere. Minor rubbing. Pretty clean everywhere else, but this is Batman 209, a kind of ridiculous. I think this is an Infantino cover, but the Tiger Batman. But I think I got this $20 half off. Yes. And again, this one's an absolute steal. I've been looking for this one. This was $20 and I got half off. This is Batman 255. It's one of the 100-page ones, and I really want it because it has this Neil Adams story. Batman Moon of the Wolf. Very happy to get that. Couldn't believe I got it for, $20 is even a good price on that. So, because it's not a bad copy. The only flaw is that it's got a tear in that spine down the bottom. And it's a pretty major one. But still, wish if it didn't have that, you're talking very fine. Maybe even very fine plus, but as I've said many a time, these giant-sized DCs and Marvels from the Bronze Age are hard to find without problems on the spine. But, yeah. Neil Adams' werewolf story. Robin vs. Crazy Quilt. Can't argue that. Batgirl's Big Surprise. Alfred the Detective. And Batman's Father. I also remember that story. So, this might be the thing I was the most happy to pick up. This is the DC Dollar Comics Jonah Hex Spectacular. And I have to look it up. This might be the death of Jonah Hex, but either way, I did not have this. And this is a beautiful copy. There's not much wrong with this book, except maybe, the spine's a little uneven. But not much. I mean, that's a nice book right there. An awesome Garcia Lopez cover. Yeah, glad I got this one. Another Jonah Hex book that not many of them are expensive, but another one knocked off my checklist. And again, I love the giant sizes, so got giant size Daredevil number 1, and it has some problems, some chipping on the bottom corner, some rubbing and tearing at the top, some flaking, minor spine rolling, but not a bad copy. I think this was $15 and half off. This is a book I had as a kid, one of the few I sold or traded that I didn't have doubles of, and I've regretted it a bit, and so been biding my time, and I found not a perfect copy, but a good deal. This book here is really not too bad, honestly. It's got some rubbing and the scuffing and discoloration there in a 50-cent price box. The spine's not too bad. A little bit of rolling, no tearing, a little minor rubbing at the bottom. I mean, it's not a bad book, especially, the flaws are pretty much right there. And they're not too bad. But for what I paid for this, I'm super happy. And this is the giant size Spider-Man 4 with the Punisher, where they take on Moses Magnum. And I got this book here for $25. So I replaced it at far less what I sold my copy for back in the day. So I believe I sold mine for $70 or $80. My copy was not much sharper than that one, so no longer upset. So very thankful for that. That gave me something to be thankful for on Thanksgiving weekend. Picked up Giant Size Man-Thing #1, classic Plug cover. Not too much. There's some problems on the spine, some bending right there by 68 and up top where it says Giant Size Man-Thing, and yeah, the spine's just uneven, but it's not too bad. And again, happy to have that one. $25 half off, $12.50. So good deal there. Got Conan #9 I needed, and that's a beautiful Barry Windsor Smith cover. The problem is this book is in horrible shape. All kinds of problems on the spine, water damage and warping. But I got it for $3. So why not? You know, why not? Even just for the reader, it's worth that. This copy's not quite it looks really sharp, but it's got, if you can see it, it's got a minor bit of warping right here. Right there. So, it's still nice, but it's not near mint or anything, but $9. And I needed this issue, and I'd still give that maybe like a very fine minus, tiny rubbing there. It's not, the warping's not too bad. It's not like water damage or anything. It looks like maybe like a stress mark or a bend that didn't break color. But moving on, got Marvel Premiere #18. Pretty sharp copy here. Very happy to have that. Needed these Iron Fists. Wait, I know there's another. Okay, here it is. I'll show this first. This is a really sharp Marvel Premiere #20. And super sharp. Only flaw is right there, if you can see, in the middle of that curtain in the black there. One ding that breaks color, but this is sweet. Oh, I'm sorry, no, there's two chips. That one's pretty minor, but 2 chips in the top. But yeah, pretty darn sweet book for slightly under $4. And again, you know, I'm a condition hound, so, you know, I start looking at these books, it's got dings in the spine and blah, blah, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's $3, so you're going to buy it anyway. And I haven't read this, so I'm stoked to read it regardless, and awesome cover, Marvel feature #7, Red Sonja, She-Devil with a sword, and it's got Red Sonja taking on Conan. So I have not read that one. Believe that, I don't know if that's an Ernie Chan cover or not. No, don't think so. It might be Buscema. Don't know. Look that up too. Took a gamble on this one because I didn't have my price guide. Marvel 2-in-1 51. Thought it might be a 40-cent price variant, but it's just the normal one. But still a cool George Perez issue with a nice supporting cast of heroes. Marvel 2-in-1 #52. Another Perez cover. Had this one as a kid. Gonna read that. What If #50. What if the Hulk had killed Wolverine? And it's got the foil enhancement on there on Wolverine's adamantium skeleton with Hulk's reflection. Pretty awesome cover. Got these. This is the Gargoyle Mini, and I got these mainly for this gorgeous painted Bernie Wrightson cover to Gargoyle #1. Look at that. Whew. Don't think the Gargoyles ever look better than that. But I got #1, #2, #3, and #4. This one I was really happy to pick up. Aside from the date marking, which I'm finding isn't that major of a flaw according to Overstreet and CGC. I mean, ETA Nick did a video not too long ago of a Captain America he had that was had a date stamp on the cover, and he got a 9/6 on it, and that gave me a lot of hope because a lot of my books have date stamps. So I'm glad to see it's considered a flaw, but not a major one if you can get a 9/6 on a book with one. So it's very stoked to see that. And Nick has some beautiful books if you haven't checked out his channel, but grab this because it's a really, really sharp copy. Got it for $9 plus tax. Monsters on the Prowl #16 with King Kull. Look at that cover. I mean, comic collectors aren't walking by books like that at 70% off, honestly. Another thing I was super stoked about is I finished up my run of Watchmen. My number one's not in the best shape. I need to upgrade, but these I got $6 a pop, and they're all near mint. Watchmen number 8. Watchmen number 9. And yeah, this story, you know, when non-golden and silver age books, you know, any modern book that's in a Mylar, you know it's a sharp copy. Number 10. Some of these I don't even see flaws on them. This one is the one that had a little bit of flaws on it. And this is number 11. It's an all white cover. As you can see, it has a little bit of rubbing that discolored it right there in the W, through the W and the A into the T. But still pretty nice copy. And the final issue, number 12, also very sharp. This had the most minor of flaws that I saw. Can't even find it now. It didn't break color, but there was like a small, there it is in the H. You can barely see at the top of the H there. If this thing will focus. No, my phone doesn't want to focus, I apologize. But yeah, it's very minor, almost undetectable, but there's my Watchmen 12. Very happy to have that run completed. I'm going to be looking to get a near mint number 1. Didn't have much in the way. Well, I got that Jonah Hex dollar special, was huge, but only found one more that I needed, and it was Jonah Hex 39. Gonna read this because it's about samurai, but I needed that one for my run. Also, I got all the new 52 detectives, but my number 1 was a second print, so I grabbed this one today. Got that now. Needed Batman Annual 12, and that's a badass Mike Kaluta cover. And don't remember this story, but I remember the cover, and I know I had it as a kid, so I'm going to read that too. Big fan of the Game of Thrones show. Read some of the books, kind of ruined it by watching the shows first, but the show's so good. Highly recommend it if those of you out there have not seen it. Definitely worth your time. Not to be watched with the kids, but excellent, excellent show. One of the best written shows on television. And this is Game of Thrones number 1 by Dynamite. Got that for $3. Stoked about that. And again, this cover had a few problems on it, but for $6 for the Virgin variant of Game of Thrones number 1, couldn't pass. But it has some stress marks and rubbing there by a staple. Huge chip there out of the color. It's not even a crack. It looked like it got scuffed. But besides the point, I don't know who painted this, but man, gorgeous painted cover of Eddard Stark and the Direwolves on that number 1 Virgin variant. Love that. Grabbed Game of Thrones number 2. This is the Virgin variant to Incorruptible number 1. I don't know who did that. It might be Sean Phillips. I'll have to look that up too. I don't think it is. Doesn't look like his style, but I could be wrong. This one I couldn't. These next two I really couldn't believe it. Especially this one. It was $10 with the discount. Got it for $3. And this is a variant to The Incredibles number 1, and they only did 500 of these, and I got it for $3. Holy crap! And I got this for $4. Again, a limited to 500 variant. Scioli variant, not familiar with him, but to Incredibles 3, and it's made to look like an old damaged book, but it's also signed by Mark Waid, so grab that up. I also have the Mike Mignola variant to Incredibles number 1, signed by Mignola and Waid, so happy to add those to that collection. Couldn't pass this up. Still need a few issues of this, but I got the sketch variant. This is the Derek Robertson sketch variant to Total Recall number 1. Awesome cover. This is the regular cover to Total Recall number 4. Got another Miracle Man I needed. This is Miracle Man number 8, and a very, very sharp copy at that. Happy to add that to my run. And this, not that familiar with this series, but I knew enough to pick this up for $3. It's the Astonish Comics series of Mike Kunkel's Hero Bear and the Kid, issue number 2. And I believe Boom Studios is putting this book out now. And I don't have number 1, but grab that at that price. And here's another book I've been hearing a lot about. I hear it's already been optioned for possible TV series or movie. And it's Boom Studios Daymen number 1. And issue 2 isn't out, but I've heard a lot of good things, so I scooped this up too, and I'm happy to have it. So, sorry this video, again, ran a little long as usual, but I got a lot of cool stuff, and I'm very, very thankful. Very thankful for all the cool stuff I got these past couple months, and thankful for all the cool people in this community as well. You know, obviously thankful for my health and my family and everything. But, you know, thankful, like many have said, that there's a cool community where those of us that still read comics as adults can discuss it. You know, and I look forward to all the discussions and comments and seeing all your guys' pickups. And I really enjoy this community, despite how Google Plus has tried to screw it up and make it harder for us to do our thing. But thank you all for taking the time to check out my books. Hope everyone had a great, safe Thanksgiving. And everyone take care of yourselves, and a happy comic reading.